Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. The weather's been actually really nice today. Just good temperature, not too hot. I mean, a little warm, but I mean, it's mid-July and this feels like May weather. So can't complain. We were supposed to get rain a few times today, didn't get any here, went north and south of us. But they're still saying that over the next few days we might have another chance of it, which is fine. We're not desperate for rain around here, but you know, it keeps the dust down on these gravel roads. That's kind of my favorite part, because when it gets dry and you live out like this, for those of you that do, you know what I'm saying. It's like a dust bowl. When you drive down the road, it's just, you can't see anything. Your cars, it's everywhere. And I've yet to find a car, old or new, that the seals on the doors and everything are good enough to keep all the dust out. So anyways, that's the updates for all of you people that don't care about the updates. So I think that Joe Biden's about ready to drop out of the race and very possibly not even be the president. So to give you some updates on what's going on, I mean, I know you're all following all the Trump stuff, you know, him getting shot and all the debacle with the Secret Service and all that kind of stuff. But it hit the news today that Joe Biden said that he would consider stepping down from the race if it was determined that he had some, you know, illness or some medical condition that would prevent him from being president. And just moments ago, the White House announced that Joe Biden has tested positive for COVID-19. Now, is that necessarily an illness that would prevent him from being president? Well, if it's the COVID-19 that you and I know, the answer should be no. Especially for a president. You know that they have medical treatment and medicines that probably none of us even have access to. So, regardless of age, someone at that level, if they got COVID-19, they should be able to recuperate just fine, and maybe he will. But it sounds very suspicious that this may be the door opening. Now, I don't remember the date, but the Democrat National Convention is coming up here in a few weeks, and so they need to figure something out by then. The recent poll today showed that 65% of Democrats do not want Biden on the ticket. Big ticket names like Adam Schiff, I almost said the four-letter word, because that's really better representing him. But I try to keep this channel G-rated, so I didn't say that. Nancy Pelosi, the Clintons, the Obamas, they've all made it known that they'd really like to not have Joe Biden on that ticket. So I would guess things are going to change. I mean, Trump's popularity is as big as it's ever been, maybe bigger. Even though I did see a poll today, and you know, these polls are all garbage. They're absolute garbage, right? Remember, Hillary Clinton was going to be our president, and they got that wrong. But according to a poll today, it showed that Biden has bounced back from the debate debacle and Trump getting shot, and he's now leading Donald Trump in the polls. But I mean, whatever. We have to think about this. And this is something that we've all talked about. We've all thought. I've mentioned it. You've talked about it in your conversations in your circles. I think there's a lot more. There's something bigger than just an election. Although I think this election is a pretty big deal, because I think it's going to determine very likely where the globalist New World Order heads to. I will, as a total side note, not really related, at the Republican National Convention, one of the backdrops that they used was the Latin phrase that means New World Order, or a new order for the ages, which is on the back of our money. It's part of the seal. I get that, but I just thought that was a little interesting. I think that there was a lot of subliminal little innuendos in the little parts that I saw of the Republican National Convention, that they're trying to make it a big tent party. They've been trying that for decades now, and including every religion and every pagan belief and all that stuff all in together. But anyways, that's a total side note that has not a whole lot to do with what I'm saying. Back to Joe Biden, I think is a probably good possibility that he's going to drop out of the race soon, but I think it's also a big possibility that he may not be president much longer. Whether it's an illness or whether it's a death, I think either would fit really well, and that could cause a lot of chaos. I think they want to do something. You know how it's going. They don't want to just get someone in the campaign that's really amazing, that they believe has a pretty good chance of defeating Donald Trump. They want to make sure that it just that their way just stands, and so they're going to do everything they can to work the election. It's YouTube. I'm trying to choose my words wisely. Read between the lines, folks. Now, on the other hand, I've said this stuff before too. What if Donald Trump actually gets elected? Well, I would be more suspicious than ever that Donald Trump may not be the guy that you think he is, or he is the guy that you think he is, but the ones that are in charge put him into place so that they could actually control things. Because if they have the kind of control to take out presidents, to change policies around the world, start wars, end wars, steal elections all over the planet, then why wouldn't they get what they want in this election? I mean, come on. I mean, just like I said the other day, this whole debacle of, well, we don't really want Joe Biden to run, but he's going to stick to his guns and run. If they wanted Joe Biden out, they'd have gotten Joe Biden out a long time ago. They only want him out when it's at the right time according to their plan. And it looks like that plan is now, we're at that stage of the plan, that they're going to get rid of him. And whoever wins in November will be chosen regardless. So whether it's Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, or Mickey Mouse, whoever is deemed the official winner, or at least will continue on as president or be the next president, whatever, it'll be the one that's chosen. I think we've long since passed the free and fair election. And so people need to get that. And a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are, there's so much emotionalness. They're very emotional with everything that's going on. And people need to stop and kind of think clearly. If they make this switch with Joe Biden, or if he steps down or is unable to continue as president, again, I've said this before, I think a lot of things are going to happen because they've got to cause enough distraction so that this transition works and so that there's not too many questions. Because if there's nothing else going on in the news will be solely focused on this. And then there could be questions. Well, he's not really acting much different than he was 6 months ago. Why didn't you do this then? Why are you doing it now? Just a few days before the debate, you were saying that he was perfectly fine, and now he's not. What's happened? You know, I mean, what we see on camera hasn't changed much. So they don't want to have all those questions. They don't want the people asking those questions. They don't want rogue reporters and independent reporters asking those questions and other things. So if and when this happens, and I don't think it's if anymore, I think it's when, I suspect there'll be some things before, during, or after, or all the above that's going to distract things. That could be really big. That could be a world war. That could be a civil war. It could be an economic collapse. It could be another pandemic. It could, but I think it's going to have to be something pretty significant, a massive terrorist attack, grid failure, cyber attack. I don't think it's going to be just some regional one little thing. I think it's going to have to be big, because that's big news. That's really big news. If Joe Biden steps down from the race and possibly even the presidency right now. So we have to get ready for that. And I've been telling you that now for weeks. But it looks to be like what I've been telling you about starting to happen. So be watchful of that. Be ready, because it's coming before you know it. Now, I know some of you get irritated that I sometimes don't say all the things that you want me to say on here, and it's not always me. It's usually because it's YouTube. So if you're interested in hearing what my opinions are and news, that's uncensored, go over and check out my locals channel. There's a link down in the description below. You can join for free. There's no cost to join. But there's some content. A lot of the content that I produce over there is behind a paywall. It's only $3 a month or $30 a year. And I know a lot of people just hate that. Oh, we have to pay. You're paying right now by watching YouTube videos, maybe not out of your pocket, but you're paying by watching all these advertisers that go completely against. I mean, they're making money off of you. You know that. One way or the other, YouTube or the advertisers, they're making money off of you. And these are companies that I assure you, most of you do not align with at all. And at least over on locals, you don't have to deal with that. There's no advertisements. All right, folks. It's getting to be crunch time. Been telling you this for a while. Hopefully most of you are listening and getting ready. For the rest of you, you better catch up fast, because there may not be too much time left before things start getting much crazier, and they're definitely plenty crazy right now. It's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.